Crypto just got its biggest green light in history. Now, this is not hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. This really changes everything. Okay, we're going to get just straight into it here. And let me share my screen here. So we're going to hear from a certain person. They're speaking at SOFMA. SOFMA says they're the voice of the U.S. Securities industry. Let's just go to her immediately. This voice here is Caroline Pham. So this was from a couple months ago, and then we're going to get some recent news she just put out yesterday and today. Okay, so let's listen to this right now.
For probably at least 10 years, the international regulatory community has had as its mantra that we must bring crypto inside the regulatory perimeter. What better way to bring it inside the regulatory perimeter than to put it on our highly regulated futures and securities exchanges, which have been proven for 100 years plus to be the best for, again, liquidity formation, for efficiency, for investor protection, for best execution, for transparency. This is the gold standard, our registered and regulated exchanges, and so that's exactly what we're doing. I expect that we will be live with listed spot crypto trading on at least one of our designated contract markets, our futures exchanges, by the end of the year. It's a crypto sprint. I'm very serious about that. So we are moving quickly, but also, the CFTC does have a principles-based regulatory framework, which does give us that flexibility to adapt and anticipate changes in market structure, evolving and emerging risks, so on and so forth. So listed spot crypto live trading on one of our futures exchanges by the end of the year. I also I'm planning on having something announced, issued, some type of, I don't know, maybe an advisory, maybe a guidance, maybe something else, but we will issue something on tokenized collateral by the end of the year, particularly as it relates to OTC markets. So that's another one of the big initiatives that I announced. I announced a effort to enable tokenized collateral in our markets, including stablecoins, and I announced that together with some of the largest industry participants in the space, both stablecoin issuers as well as regulated crypto trading platforms. So that's very exciting. Those are by the end of the year. In first or second quarter of next year, I expect that we will have some of our derivatives clearing organizations, DCOs or our registered clearinghouses, enabling stablecoins as collateral, again, first or second quarter of next year. And then the other piece that we have to the crypto sprint is I opened a consultation on about a half dozen or so rules that may need some technical amendments to enable tokenization and blockchain-based market infrastructure, so margin, collateral, clearing, settlement, record-keeping, reporting, and so that consultation period closes later this year. It's a little bit extended because of the government shutdown, and so I think the CFTC can do one rulemaking next year, the first 6 months of next year, to propose those technical amendments, get public comment, and then issue a final rule by August, which then we will have completed implementing all of the PWG recommendations for the CFTC. So that's the crypto sprint.
One thing I didn't, I was going to ask you about the collateral, but one thing that I neglected to mention at the outset, but I want to ask you about, so before you became acting chairman, as a commissioner, you chaired the Global Markets Advisory Committee, and SIPMA and our global partner GFMA had the opportunity to participate on both the full committee and some of the subcommittees. You did a lot of work on that committee leading up to this point, right? I mean, how much of the work, you did the taxonomy around digital assets. How much of that work of the GMAC has informed your ability? Would it be fair to say you were already sprinting before you started the sprint? That you had, is a lot of that GMAC work, coming into fruition at this point?
Absolutely. So again, I was particularly known for strategy and transformation. I love a project plan. So yes, I put together a number of deliverables and milestones that I thought it would be great to achieve, and we have just methodically gone through and ticked those off. So I was immensely proud to relaunch the CFTC's Global Markets Advisory Committee, which is about having a level playing field for global businesses and global markets. And I want to thank SIFMA, GFMA, and AFME, as well as the other trade associations, many of your firms here in this room who have committed not only your most senior leaders, but your time and resources to supporting the work of the GMAC. So given my perspective being at a global international bank like Citi, everything that I worked on was very much about global markets, and a lot of it was dealing with market fragmentation and other issues like that. So because of that experience that I had working so closely with the global markets business, but then also at one point in time, I oversaw all of Citi's participation in all of the trade associations that Citi is a member of. So I sort of built my own Uber trade association, I suppose, like industry organization, and was really able to leverage, we had over across the GMAC and its 3 subcommittees, global market structure, digital asset markets, and technical issues, over 125 members. It's the largest single advisory committee initiative ever at the CFTC, and these are all sector leaders, segment leaders, the most preeminent firms in each of their spaces, the sell side, the buy side, the service providers, the FMIs, and also we had digital or crypto natives. And we put out recommendations, about 14 recommendations that span all the issues that are most impactful, most significant to global markets. So in many ways, the scope of the GMAC mirrors the FSB agenda. My scope at Citi was very broad, and so when I came back to the CFTC, I basically wanted to blow my scope back out to what I liked doing, and why not? But it was great because we were to tackle issues like Treasury market reform, T+1 security settlement, looking at issues around capital margin and clearing in wholesale markets and how to make that more efficient. We looked at systemic risk and using the data that we've been collecting since Dodd-Frank and how to enable that data so that regulators could, for example, try to spot buildups or issues like Archegos in the data that we're already collecting. A lot of that ties into the NBFI work that the international regulatory community is focused on. And so on and so forth. Because if you think about it, look, we regulate derivatives markets. That's every asset class, right? There's an underlying every asset class in derivatives markets, and so that's why I looked at all of the asset classes. So all of that GMAC work has informed what we have done all year this year, right? Because that was the whole point, was to have the GMAC propose solutions that were pragmatic and that could be implemented, and now I've been implementing them. We have gone through and implemented all the GMAC recommendations that the CFTC would require action by the CFTC and is something that we could accomplish. This year I had gridlock. I was not able to move anything through the commission because there was no majority until September 4th after the departure of my colleague. So you may have noticed that right on September 4th, many things were issued by the CFTC, and that's because we were able to break through the gridlock. And then for the crypto asset space, yes, we had the tokenized non-cash collateral recommendation by the Digital Asset Market Subcommittee last November. That in a large part very much did focus on tokenized treasury money market funds, but the learnings there and the principles there are broadly applicable to include stablecoins as well. And then the taxonomy work also informed what was in the president's working group.
So she mentioned a ton of different things there, but all of that, derivatives, fragmentation, treasuries, Dodd-Frank, all of that has come into fruition right now. Shout out to Carolyn fam. Here we have Acting Chairman Carolyn Pham announces launch of digital assets pilot program for tokenized collateral in derivatives markets, right? And she told us there in, what was that, October, right? So she told us a couple months ago that this was happening. This is huge, 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 right? Great clarity that we've never seen before in the market. Shout out to Carolyn Pham here. Let's read this here. CFTC issues new guidance to provide regulatory clarity, eliminates outdated requirements that hurt innovation. December 8, 2025, Commodities Futures Trading Commission Acting Chairman Carolyn D. Pham announced today the launch of digital assets pilot program for certain digital assets, including BTC, ETH, and USDC, to be used as collateral in derivatives markets. Guidance on tokenized collateral and withdrawal of outdated requirements given the enactment of the Genius Act. Today's announcement marks a significant milestone in the expanded adoption of digital assets in regulated markets with appropriate guardrails. And it follows the Tokenized Collateral Initiative Acting Chairman Pham launched in September as a part of the CFTC's Crypto Sprint. Okay. Everything she just told us in that video there that only like 210 people watched, to implement recommendations in the President's Working Group on Digital Asset Markets report. Now, here we hear from her in her own words. Under my leadership this year, the CFTC has led the way forward into America's golden age of innovation in crypto. This imperative has never been more important given recent customer losses or non-U.S. crypto exchanges on non-U.S. crypto exchanges. Americans deserve safe U.S. markets as an alternative to offshore platforms, and that's why last week I announced that spot crypto can now be traded on CFTC registered exchanges. Awesome, said Acting Chairman Pham. Today I'm launching a U.S. digital assets pilot program for tokenized collateral, including Bitcoin and Ether, in our derivatives markets that establishes clear guardrails to protect customer assets and provides enhanced CFTC monitoring and reporting. The CFTC is also providing regulatory clarity, through tokenized collateral guidance in real-world assets like U.S. Treasuries and withdrawing CFTC requirements that are now outdated under the Genius Act. As I said before, embracing responsible innovation ensures that the U.S. markets are the world leader and drives progress that will unleash U.S. economic growth because market participants can safely put their dollars to work smarter and go farther. Okay. Now we get words from 3 or 4 major companies, one being Ripple, another being Crypto.com, another being Circle, another being Coinbase. Huge. And by the way, I'm running a deal for the Patreon, $45 off your first month here. Okay. In the Patreon, we talk about stocks, we talk about crypto. Of course, we also have weekly open mic nights, which are definitely fun. And we do crypto and stock watch lists. Okay. Also, we have an exclusive show that we do with Crypto Future and Maximus Crypto on Thursdays. And I'm getting ready to roll out one day a month having a kind of after hour show. Okay. So let's see here. Your mic is twice as loud as the media volume. Sorry for that, Eric. It's always with the mic where it's too loud, it's not loud enough. It's just, if you guys can adjust, I would greatly appreciate that. My apologies on that. So I'm sorry if I caught your comment earlier. I would have switched it. My apologies, guys. So you just have to work with me here until we get like the Mr. Beast, like Meet Kevin type setup. Until then, we just got to work with what we have, right? This is a brand new mic, all of that type of stuff. But yeah, if I caught your comment earlier, I would have switched it. But let's continue on here. Okay, so let's look at what Carolyn Pham said, or we looked at what she said. Let's look at what these leaders of Titan industries in the crypto market are saying. So let's start with Coinbase here. The decision confirms what the crypto industry has long known, that stablecoins and digital assets can make payments faster, cheaper, and reduce risk. Says Paul Grewald, Coinbase Chief Legal Officer. We applaud Acting Chair Carolyn Pham and the CFTC for swiftly recognizing that tokenized innovation is the future of finance, and we thank Acting Chair Carolyn Pham for her leadership and vision. This major unlock is precisely what the administration and Congress intended with the Genius Act to enable and will allow digital innovation to transform and improve traditional areas of finance. We encourage other regulators to quickly follow suit. Circle, which is going to be important to hear from Circle because there may be ZEBEC implications, right? Circle applauds Acting Chairman Pham's breakthrough leadership for derivatives markets and responsible innovation, says Heath Tarbert, president of Circle. Deploying prudentially supervised payment stablecoins across CFTC regulated markets protects customers. Okay. Payment stablecoins is how he worded it. Payment stablecoins. Very, very ZEBEC-esque, if you will, to use the whole Jordan-esque type language, right? So very, very nice there. Deploying prudentially supervised payment stablecoins across CFTC regulated markets protects customers, reduces settlement frictions, supports 24/7, right? That's Ripple, of course, ZEBEC as well. 24/7 risk reduction and advances U.S. dollar leadership through global regulatory interoperability. Enabling near real time, right? Real time or streaming, right? Margin settlement will also mitigate settlement failure and liquidity squeeze risks across evenings, weekends, and holidays. Acting Chairman Pham and the Commission have set a course for the future in which the United States will continue to have the safest, deepest, and most trusted global derivatives markets. Okay. Now we hear from Crypto.com. Today marks an important milestone in the history of the crypto industry. We have been given regulatory certainty for the future, said Chris, let's say Marcelik, co-founder and CEO of Crypto.com. The CFTC guidance on tokenized collateral is the latest example of Acting Chair Pham's delivering on the promise of President Trump to make the United States of crypto capital of the world. I butchered that, so let me read that one more time. The CFTC guidance on the tokenized collateral is the latest example of Acting Chairman Pham's delivering on the promise of President Trump to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. Acting Chairman Pham should be commended for these leadership efforts. For years, we have been able to offer tokenized collateral in markets other than the United States. It has only been because of the leadership of Acting Chairman Pham and the CFTC's exclusive jurisdiction over our CFTC regulated clearinghouse that we now will be able to use tokenized collateral to support our CFTC regulated crypto and predictions market products. Okay. So they have quote unquote prediction markets products or betting, right, on crypto.com. So they got that in here for everyone to see. As well as our margin derivatives. This means 24/7 trading is a reality in the United States, and we are fully open for business and are excited for the new chapter. And here's Ripple, which will also have ZEBEC implications. The CFTC's actions mark a pivotal moment for integrating digital assets into regulated derivatives markets by recognizing tokenized digital assets, including stablecoins, as eligible margin. The CFTC is providing the regulatory clarity needed to move the industry forward, said Jack McDonald, SVP of stablecoins at Ripple. This step will unlock greater capital efficiency and solidify the U.S. leadership in financial innovation. At Ripple, we look forward to continuing to partner with the CFTC and the industry to ensure safe and responsible scaling of digital assets. Okay. So very, very cool there. We could totally go and read the rest of this, but now I'd like to go over to what she said on Twitter. Okay. We'll share that tab here. She says, okay, December 8th, the guidance provides regulatory clarity and opens the door for more digital assets to be added as collateral by exchanges and brokers in addition to the U.S. Treasuries and money market funds. Okay. And then she calls out on Twitter Coinbase, Circle, Crypto.com, and Ripple. Okay. Coinbase. This major unlock is precisely what the administration and Congress intended with the Genius Act to enable and will allow digital innovation to transform and improve traditional areas of finance. Okay? If you don't own any Coinbase stock, what are you doing with your life, right? Circle. Deploying prudentially supervised payment stablecoins across CFTC regulated markets protects customers, reduce settlement frictions, supports 24/7 risk reduction, and advances U.S. dollar leadership through global regulatory interoperability. Crypto.com. Today marks an important day in the milestone in the history of the crypto industry. We have been given regulatory certainty for the future. For years, we've been able to offer tokenized. Yeah, so he's just repeating what we read earlier. Same thing for Ripple here. So very, very amazing. And of course, the first comment is from Securitize, Tokenize the World. Shout out to the patrons. You know how we can get access to Securitize and invest in Securitize. So shout out to the Patreon. Definitely check that out. Less than a cup of coffee and 45% off the first month now. And now we got another thing from, and as always, guys, we always get to our comments at the end of the show. And thank you so much, Crypto Clay, for the super chat there. Let me read that immediately here. Thanks for the content, Rue. How about that OCC news? They gave the green light for banks to buy, sell, and hold crypto for their customers. Yes, we'll get to that as well, Clay. Thank you, brother, for sharing that news, and thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, brother. Crypto Clay, frequent watcher, appreciate you, brother. So now let's get to what she said today, which was Acting Chairman Pham announces regulatory clarity for the U.S. markets, for U.S. access to markets. Commodities Futures Trading Commission Acting Chairman Caroline D. Pham today announced the Market Participants Division of the Clearing and Risk and Division of the Market Oversight issued a no-action letter to harmonize three separate definitions of a U.S. person. Amongst other things, under the CFTC's Dodd-Frank Act, cross-border swap framework, this letter simplifies and consolidates existing no-action positions that address almost 15 years of regulatory uncertainty and promotes harmonization with the Securities and Exchange Commission regulations. So, i.e., clarity for the markets, clarity for things like ZEBEC, which is trying to get into payroll, clarity for derivatives, clarity for everything, guys. This is so huge. And now we're going to get to the part that Clay was mentioning here. OCC, interpretive letter 1188. So, you could add that up, and that's 29, but 1188 seems just like an important number to me. Shout out to people who like numbers, right? Confirms that a national bank may engage in riskless principal crypto asset transactions as a part of business banking. And if that's not clear, someone kind of spelled it out easier down here. Breaking OCC confirms the U.S. banks can act as intermediaries for crypto trading. So very, very cool. Very cool. And from okay, yeah, there we go. So very, very clear here from the OCC. Very huge. Let me follow these guys. Very, very big news there, guys. So huge for the market. So huge for us as investors. Like effectively, even though the Senate hasn't passed anything yet, the market has clarity. The market has clarity. The U.S. has clarity. Okay, so there we go. Right, this should be no matter what the price does, which we know the price will catch up to everything. Right, no matter what the price does, the market has clarity now. Now it has room for the price to move. Okay, now we have clarity for American agencies to operate properly. Now we have clarity for people to add crypto to their treasuries. Like, this opens up so much. So much. So let's get into some of the comments here. This is a great day for crypto investors. And, hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride. Get ready for the ride. Because everything we've been saying about 2026 being explosive, I mean, this is it here. This is it to me, right? This to me says everything that everyone has been saying as far as like smoke and different guys like that. There isn't going to be this whole 4-year cycle anymore. This gives the market the room to breathe. This gives everyone the room to, banks and everyone, companies, the room to add crypto to their treasuries, for crypto to be a real asset out here. Wow. Like, I can't really celebrate the way I want to celebrate right now. Like, you guys would be like, okay, you need to turn that mic down or turn that mic off because you're yelling in our ear right now. What's good, Brother Rue? What's up, King Pound? So now we're going to hit the part where we get to our comments, guys. I want to hear what you guys think about this, and I want to explore also. I've been hearing a lot about Robinhood entering the derivatives market. And that was the whole reason they bought Bitstamp, okay? And that basically Robinhood was going to do something with derivatives with Ripple, okay? Via Bitstamp. So I think that's something we should explore. I think shout out to Abs at Good Evening Crypto. I think he did a show on this. Let's actually kind of see if we can bring that up right now. Ripple, Bitstamp, derivatives. So with all of these announcements, like, you gotta believe. Okay, here we go. Breaking. This is from XRP Queen. Breaking update: Ripple CTO confirms banks are now integrating XRP, and Ripple Bank will run directly on XRP ledger positioning. Okay, I thought this was going to be something about the derivatives here. Okay, we'll see if we can find it a little later, because I know there was something that specifically about Bitstamp and Bitstamp moving forward with their derivatives market. But yeah, we'll get to that just here in a second. But let's go ahead and get to our comments. Unless we can go. What's up, Shook Focus Digital? Our guy, Shook Focus Digital. We'll definitely share Shook's channel in just a second here. What's up, brother? CFTC and OTC give crypto green light. Tsunami coming. Finally, tsunami. Paul Andrew, let's go. Crypto Clay, let's go. What happens if all your cryptos for this new digital world, but you access your funds, you need the mark of the beast. Well, that's interesting. We could get to that into that a question like that on the Patreon, the whole mark of the beast type of thing. It's interesting. Some could say that could be stable coins, right? I thoroughly believe at some point we will only be able to transact in stable coins. Cash will go away. But again, when you really think about cash, cash is issued by the central bank anyway. So it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like all the currency is issued by the central bank right now, unless you're going to do like a skill trade. You're going to sell like you're going to trade task with someone, or you're going to trade gold with them. All the cash that you use is issued from the central bank, so it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, really. Gather around, crypto hustlers. If you're still hodling, Ripple will be a bank by then. Thanks for sharing, Brother Rue. No problem. We got E in the house. What's up, crypto fam? Rue back at it. QT about to be over. QE is incoming. Assets, inflation go up. Those not invested, their money will continue to be eaten alive. Continued devaluation of the dollar. The Rue is back. What's up, Jamaican crypto? OCC news was massive today. Huge. Let's go. Like these folks are the enemy and not our friends at like the IMF. And I get you want to be ahead of the game, but these folks are, well, it's like this because I really think that crypto's the way, right? I think anyone will use a tool to get you not to invest. If it's like the mark of the beast or this or that, the other thing, Ripple's, going to be controlling, and Quant's like going to be the big brother, the eye of the whatever. All of these are tools to get you not to invest. On one side, the BRICS people are saying that, okay, well, crypto is just a scam to lessen the national debt and all of this stuff. But when you look at what's happening, the biggest and best and oldest and brightest and richest companies are putting away cryptocurrency. They're putting it in ETFs and they're holding it. Okay. And you can see this around the world. So they're holding on to these assets as if they're gold, as if they're silver. Shouldn't we be doing the same? Right? Throw everything else out of the water, throw everything else away and look at what's happening. And what's happening is these companies like the BlackRocks, like the Fidelities, like the, ARK Invest, you name it. They're putting these cryptos in these ETFs. Different companies are putting them in treasuries like Evernorth, Vivo Power, Strategy, MicroStrategy, Tesla, you name it. They're putting these on their balance sheet, and it's going to be even more now that we have regulatory clarity. Now that we have this regulatory clarity, expect all different types of companies to put all different types of crypto on their balance sheet. I was hearing a couple days ago that some company decided to put Binance Coin on their treasury. This is just the beginning. This is the tip of the iceberg right now. Because now we finally have the clarity. Okay. So again, yeah, exactly. Both doors wide open. There'll be no friction once we get this clarity. The floodgates are open. Like, so if you throw anything else into it, and I'm not challenging anyone's religion. I'm not challenging anything. I'm speaking purely from the point of an investor. You're going to be left behind. Right? You're really going to be left behind. Everybody had gripes about every different thing at one point in time, right? Computers, Uber, this, that, the other thing, right? But the first movers, right? Even Bitcoin, the first movers benefited like crazy, right? So it's up to you if you want to invest or not, right? I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm just saying, for me, I use my eyes, and from what I'm seeing, it looks like the biggest companies in the world are involved on this. are ready to pounce, and they're investing in it, and they're investing in the infrastructure, and they're investing in the ETFs, right? Yep, just waiting on that liquidity. The Clarity Act will determine who gets to regulate over what crypto. At that point, you're going to see a tsunami. Just stay healthy, fam. Protect this wealth and do not squander 100%. Oh, what's up, Zeesh? Zeesh, it's been a while, brother. Would you take all that mark of the beast to access your cryptos? Just saying, or do we have a way around this? Yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I don't know anything other than like, it seems like everybody's investing in this, man. And you know what there's a whole bunch of things that have been theorized to be like the mark of the beast, right? I have no theories. All I can see is as far as like big companies are investing in this, and I think we'd be silly to miss our opportunity here. That's just me personally. Digital ID will be required in the future to determine that you're a human being and not an AI robot, and I think that's true too. But at the same time, I think, okay, so digital ID, that's going to be a part of cryptocurrency. It just seems like it's going to be a part of it. But I'm not one to think that it's going to determine, okay, if you're an AI or a person. I think that's just another way to have people say, okay, I'll accept X, right? You know, I don't think it's a problem to accept digital ID, but now I think they're trying to make it so it's like a this or that thing, like a polarizing type of thing. You know what I'm saying? All the time they try to make things polarizing to make you pick a side when, you know, sometimes it's just it's not necessary to do that. You know, digital ID will be embedded into, you know, crypto wallets. It will be, period. But for it to be like, okay, well, you're either a human, so you got to get the digital ID, or you're either a robot if you don't. I don't subscribe to that part. I don't subscribe to that at all. But yeah, hit her all day. What up, Ruel? Let's go. Let's get up them wipes, people. Hit her all day. Give some love to Clay there. Yeah, definitely like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. We're very, very close to 9,000 subscribers. And I look at my analytics and I see that half the people watching are not subscribed. No, hey, maybe today's the day for you guys. If you like the information, definitely smash the like. And the least you can do is subscribe. You know, if you can't super chat or anything like that, the least you could do is subscribe if you like the information. So please subscribe. Ruel, what's going on, my friend? So much positive news in the industry, yet nothing happens in terms of price. What's your take on it? The Clarity Act, please elaborate. It's always kind of how it goes. It almost seems like they're trying to deter you. You know what I mean? Like they'll give good news, but you won't see the impact of that news until like months later, right? It's just how it goes. And to think if this is a waiting game, if this is a game where it's like, okay, we're gonna do the best we can to beat you down, discourage you, and make you feel like you want to sell, then that's what they do. I've been around for so many different, at least now for like the last 5 and 6 years of investing. I'm telling you, when Rona was out, people thought oil was dead. Can you believe that? Oil, of all things, right? Like there's been so many times where people would say one thing and do another, where it's like, how could we ever think that oil was dead? But we thought that at one point in time when Rona was around. Okay, oil's dead. Flight stocks are dead. You know, green energy, that's the way. Like oil, we're done with oil. When everything runs off of oil, our whole monetary system is off of oil and things like that. I think you know, these news things are kind of lagging. But I think in a couple months we will definitely see the price impact of what's happening, right? So can you hold? Do you have the stomach? That's what I think it is. Not financial advice. That's just what I think personally. Sub hitter, some love, Crypto Clay there. Digital ID is H bar. There we go. But a lot of things have digital ID embedded into it. Metallicus with their web auth wallet, they have digital ID embedded into it. ZEBEC with GateKnox, they have digital ID embedded into it. So digital ID will be embedded into certain things. But and that's just gonna be how it is. But you know what I mean? I don't think we have to think of it though as like, okay, well, if you have digital ID, you're human. And if you don't have it, you're AI. Because then you get to a point where it's like, okay, well, I'll have a digital ID, but you're not putting Neuralink in my head. You know what I mean? Okay, great. I'll have a digital ID, but I'm not, that's as far as I'm going. Like, so you're gonna have to figure the rest out. You just gonna have to figure the rest out from there. But no, I'm not putting Neuralink in my head, Elon. Sorry. That's just me personally. Ruel Black, heavy hitter 360 in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to my ZBCN family. Let's freaking go. Things moving so fast. Yes, indeed. Critical is your answer. Yes, you take the mark to take the well, that's a whole nother subject. We could probably get into that on the Patreon if you wanted to, but we probably shouldn't touch that here though, for sure. They'll all have some form of digital ID. Yes, and I do think all wallets will have some form of digital ID because they really kind of want to know who you are, and they have that to a certain extent with certain things like Apple Pay, Google Pay already, right? They have a bit of digital ID in them, and so does social media, right? But for your crypto wallet, that's going to be a necessity, unfortunately, right? Or fortunately, but I don't think that's not a reason to not invest in cryptocurrency, right? Crypto is up next. It just is. No, I protested. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, we could get into that, but probably shouldn't get into that here for sure, right? It's almost Friday. Let's go. What's up, Roy the Dream in the house? Appreciate you, brother. I know what you mean. I know what you mean about certain things, but of course we can't say them on here, right? Detroit XRP 303. Salutations, Rue. I'm going to want digital ID so that AI agents can't pretend to be me and do nefarious activities. That's how they're kind of leveraging that. That's what they're saying with WorldCoin. You know what I mean? He's trying to say that, okay, well, you want it so that they know that you're not a robot. But to me, that's like, okay, you're just trying to make me have it because you're trying to say, okay, you're trying to do this human versus robot thing, and it's just like, you're not gonna force me by trying to get me to pick a side. That's my kind of thing about it. Don't try to use something to like force me to pick a side. Like, no, I'm gonna do the best what's for me and my family. Don't you try to. And I'm not talking about you personally, Crypto Clay. I'm talking about how they're trying to leverage this whole like digital ID thing. Like it's like, oh, you're supporting, you're being a human by picking the digital ID, and it shows you're not a robot. No, I can show that I'm a human by this way. You're not gonna force me into something that way. Like, it just seems like something that you're trying to force you into. But I'm gonna use ZEBEC. I have a web auth wallet, so I already have a digital ID. But I'm not gonna do it for someone to say that, okay, that proves you're human. Nah. You do you, brother, 100%. Your mic is twice as loud as your media volume. Oh, we're not listening to the media volume anymore. Mike Main reposted the stream. Appreciate you, Mike Main. Break all the buttons. Let's go. Sephiroth 007 legend. Shout out to you. What's up, Ruel? Pretty dope to see Eminem perform at the Lions game. Let's go to ZBCN. He did. That's amazing, bro. I love Eminem. He's good. He's good. Like one of the best rhymers in the game. Period. And of course, Detroit guy. Les Square, New Jersey in the house. What's up, patron in the house? Paul Andrew is perfect for me because I have a hard time hearing. Yeah, there isn't any perfect setup. There really isn't. And I know people kind of complain about it all the time, but sometimes it's like, okay, they didn't record it right, and it just really isn't. So unless you just have a soundboard and especially when you're doing it live, it's just not. Unless you're in like a studio quality type of thing, and we're not there yet. I complaining all about the mic, brother. Just wanted you to know. Figured it might be a simple adjustment, adjusting your mic down, and my best guess. Yep. So usually it's perfect for most things, but I think they just record it at a different thing. You know what I mean? Normally it's fine. But thank you. I appreciate you letting me know. I do. I really do. Root, what up, brother? Let's go, ZBCN. What's up, Tony S? I'm a video producer just trying to give a friendly recommendation. Probably need to turn your mic down about 20% and the playback of the media up about 40. Well, I had the playback of the media up to max, and I turned this gain down to what was acceptable. I think last time me, Max, and Crypto Future got on the thing, because sometimes it just annoys me sometimes with the whole mic and stuff like that type of deal. But we're working towards getting a studio at some point, and we will have all of that figured out then. But if you can bear with me now, I really appreciate it. I love your work, and immensely, brother. Keep it up. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. USDC, ZBCN, USA. Let's go. Tom Selleck. It's Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck. I like Tom Selleck too. Blue Bloods guy, and Magnum PI guy as well. I mentioned ZBCN to my other buddy. He asked me if it was listed on Coinbase. I told him not yet. Sure enough, player, he opened up his ledger and it was there and it was listed, but not ready for trading yet. Oh, is it? Okay, so it might be on Ledger that you can buy it, but I don't know that it's on Coinbase yet. So I'm not sure. Bugatti. What's up, Bugatti, brother? Bugatti 1173. Crypto has nothing to do with the mark of the beast, bro. Stop believing these foolmans. The mark of the beast are unbelievers in Jesus Christ. It's already here. Yeah, there's so many things that people will say is the mark of the beast, and it's hard to keep up. Some will say it's oil. Some will say it's the shot, if you will. It's just I tend to kind of lean with you there, Bugatti. Like, just be much of a believer as you can, and what holds true to you. Try to be moral, try to be good, as much as you can there. And I think, unless you're openly, actively trying to like give your soul away or something out here, and you're open and actively doing something against, different morals that have been put down in holy books, I think you're good. I think you're good. What's up, brother, man? What's up, Tony S? His movie pass, Tony. Wow. Price will catch up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, it will. Crypto Clay, I'm wondering if I should stake my ZBCN or wait for the super app. Well, I like staking mine right now, and I think we got a good month or two until things really pop off, right? You can always stake it for a month, but it really depends. Yeah, it really depends on you. Like Clay is saying here, really depends on how much you got, brother. If you're sitting on millions, I would for sure stake some. But if you're 100,000 names, I might hold it tighter to my chest for sure. Yes, indeed. So yeah, I got a certain bit of ZEBEC. I always stake. I might stake a little bit more here. You know, so we'll see. I'm in the millions. I just want some more feedback from the community. People are actually staking. I would see like that. I don't want to be the guinea pig. Yeah, I'm staking, and you want to use their official site. This is the only one that you can use to stake. It's stake.zebec.io. Let me not expose my wallet. Now we can share it. So you can stake right here for a month for 8%, 3 months for 12, 4 months for 15. This is the only site that you can do staking on at the moment. So I sent that to you guys. Give me a DTL. Yeah. Stone Cold Crypto Ruel. Let's go, Phantom Beat. I just think of staking is something more to do. It's a bear market. Yeah. That's true, and not in a bull. Yep, for sure. They'll make you lock it. Well, you can do the 1 month lock, the 3 month lock, or the 4 month lock. Let's see here. When all the big exchanges join in, we're good. Turn it up, Rue. What's up, Light Tower? Patron in the house. What's good, Big Rue? Always with the Alpha. I see you. We got Black Tiger Miner in the house. What's up, brother? What's up, Blackrue? Spread the word. What's good, Black Tiger Miner? Appreciate you for coming through, brother. 5 million to give you an extra 250K. So sweet, it hurts your teeth. Let's go. Let's share our guy Shook Focus's channel and our brother Black Tiger Miner's channel right quick. Let me bring those up. So if you go to my channel and you scroll on down, looks like Mooney is live too right now. Shout out to the Mooneyverse. The Underdog Research Channel, Shook Focus Digital, Maximus Crypto, the Mooneyverse, the Gentleman of Crypto, NYC Odd Simon Family Investments, Benzinga, One-on-One Media, our guy Crypto Future, the Ronin Experience, and the Crypto Crossroads Show. So let's see what Shook has going on. So Shook just did a collab with Crypto Canvas. Definitely go check that out on Shook's channel. And let's get our brother Black Tiger Miner in here. Definitely go check him out here. What's his last show? Okay, the ZEBEC Network is warming up for adoption. Definitely go check that out. Just streamed an hour ago. And then he had another one that he streamed 4 hours ago. XRP is going to break out tomorrow after the Fed decision. So shout out to Black Tiger Miner here. Kicking butt. Oh, he's been streaming a lot, bro. Let's go. I got a couple here. One 23 hours ago, one 4 hours ago, and 1 hour ago. Man of me. That's some good content there, brother. Appreciate it. Look at you, man. I wish I could stream that often, y'all. LOL. Yeah, man. Gotta get them going, fam. What's up, Jetpack JO? That's another one we got to share here. Shout out to these creators. Very, very good creators. Definitely check them out, guys. Let's see here. And shout out to Sam Tapalia. He liked another one of my videos. Very kind of Sam here. He liked the last show. So if you guys didn't catch the last show in which we said, which we'll bring it up here. Definitely catch the last show. ZEBEC plus Stripe and a mystery crypto connection. If you didn't catch that, you're missing out because we got a mystery crypto also connected with ZEBEC and Stripe. That ZEBEC and Stripe announcement. And apparently Sam liked it. So, which I show you guys right here. You can see his profile pic there. So Sam liked it, and it's about like the second time that Sam's liked the show of mine. Like really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sam. Really appreciate that. Like you have no idea. And Simon follows me like very much. ZEBEC is about like the community, and it shows. So thank you guys. Thank you guys a ton for that. So let me bring up our brother Jetpack JO here. And that's another thing I really like about ZEBEC. They really pay attention to the community out here, and they always give us constant news. Shout out to our brother Jetpack JO. Definitely check him out. He has here right here a retweet of OCC. Let's see here. Alrighty, here. Let me do a little something here. Let this person know I'm live. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. What's up, Pharmacopoeia in the house? 2,000 ounces of silver 3 years ago was worth 32 to 37K, but today it's worth over 120K. Woohoo! Wow. The dollar, mark of the beast, welfare system, mark of the beast, Jim Crow, mark of the beast, stop being scared and get yours. I remember when debit cards were the mark of the beast. Yeah, and this is no disrespect to Zeesh, because Zeesh has been a loyal watcher for a long time, and he's been a member of our Telegram. Shout out to our Telegram, which is a moderator over there in our Telegram. But it's just so many things have been a mark of the beast. It's almost like at this point, I feel like they're using it to get people not to invest in crypto. It's kind of like the whole thing, like I was talking about earlier with Clay. Like, don't tell me that, not him personally, but I see how they're trying to make it like, oh, get the digital ID because that means you're human, not AI. So it's like with the mark of the beast type of thing, I almost feel like at this point it's like to get you not to invest in cryptocurrency, right? So, and I definitely believe that people should invest in cryptocurrency, right? Elon Musk definitely knows about ZEBEC. Electricity itself was once considered a mark of the beast and a demon coming through the wires. Yep, that's another one. That's another one. And there's, and like I said, oil, and there's things where you can look at oil, and oil is basically carbon, and carbon is like, and you look at carbon and the way that the molecules are set up, it's like a 666. There's so many different things that you can point to as being like the mark of the beast. It's crazy, but just do the best you can to be moral, and as much godly with the holy books as you can out here, right? Remember to smash that like, everybody. What's up, Fly? Appreciate you. I like that. That avatar. What's up, Shawnee Sean 6? Thank you, Rue. What's up, Johnny Hayes? It's been a while, brother. Man, no, long time no see. What's up, peoples? Nothing of the earth is evil. It's how it's used and what gives its narrative. Yeah, there we go. Technology is something that never moves backwards or repeats itself. It's constantly changing. That's right. I truly believe that too, right? And that's kind of, I wholeheartedly believe in what you're saying right there, Jetpack JO. Everything is a tool, and you can use any tool for evil or good. You really can. And people will take a tool that they know that you think might be evil and use it against you. You know what I mean? Like the mark of the beast and different things like that. So it's crazy, right? But again, this is why we have spaces like this. This is why we have communities like this, so we can have a nice discourse and talk and conversation about it. And then, together we can take it on and say, okay, how do I feel like this? Does this fit for me? Does this work for me? We're not all, at least for me, I'm not at all telling anyone to take my view on it. But I think us having an open conversation about this stuff helps everybody, right? That's for me personally. I think open conversation is what very much helps people. And when you have open conversation like this, and you don't make things like a taboo, everybody gains, everybody learns, everybody's better with stuff like that. And in that note, again, it's kind of a little bit of digression. How everything can be used as a tool for bad or evil. Cancel culture, in my opinion, is one of the biggest bad tools, because if nobody talks, nobody can learn and improve. Been over here quietly stacking ZBCN, waiting to have the talk with my manager. Me too out here for sure, 100%. Shout out to my job. I love you guys. No chip in the head of Elon can't even get the Cybertruck correct, falling apart for no reason. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you're not putting anything in my head. Then the next thing you know, they're going to be like, oh, we can put all this knowledge in your head for just this short price of this. Or, oh, we'll do it for free for the people, no, you're not putting anything in my head, Elon. No, thank you. I'm good, G. I'm great. But again, hopefully it could be good for some people, like maybe some people that are paraplegic or different things like that, where you could send signals down like Bluetooth or wirelessly to their legs and actually make them, their legs move and things like that. I could see good uses for Neuralink, but for me personally, at this stage, no. That's a hard no for me, dog. To use the whole Randy Jackson thing from that one show that I can't remember the name of. Governments want to take everything physical and turn it digital so they can turn you off like China. Yes, indeed. And the whole you own nothing and be happy type of thing. Shout out to CGA. Shout out to CGA. He was talking about this. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Like, we don't own anything nowadays. Remember when you used to own your music? Remember when you used to own books? Now everything's on Audible. Now everything's on Spotify. Like, what do you own? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like everything is rented nowadays. So it was Klaus Schwab, right? You own nothing and be happy. Hey guys, love the atmosphere. What's up, Wilhelm? Another patron in the house, and a member of the channel. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate that. We know what's coming. 100%. Likes. Thank you so much. Hand stores 1244, and thank you again. So generous, William, for the Wilhelm for the $5 Canadian. Appreciate it. Eminem got that chip. Did he get it? Did he get Neuralink? Made it to a live. What's up, Madman? Appreciate you. Long time member of the Telegram there. What's up, Mr. Baby Ears? I hear you perfectly on my end. Hello, humans. ZBCN is on Uphold 100%, and there is the link to the staking of ZEBEC. I get my check via Uphold, and they give me XRP. So far, they've given me 5 XRP. Oh, happy birthday, Yazid Yair Bey. Appreciate it. Bey in the house. Happy birthday, brother. Salams, really cool to have a nice birthday there, brother. I hope you're having a good birthday, and I wish you very much many more out here. Shout out to you, Yazid. Steak. Now I see that, and I know you mean the other steak, but now I'm hungry. Now I want some filet mignon over here. What's up, Ronnie Joyner? Steak, 5 million for 4 months. What's up, Rue? What's your thoughts on the Terra Luna Classic? I'm not really a Terra Luna type of guy, but I do like Galaxy Digital, which Mike Novogratz has that. Black Tiger Miner. Yazzie giving some love to Black Tiger Miner. Wealthy Trip X or Wealthy Trip 9. With the what is this? What is this character with the Bitcoin here? Every time something new is about to come out, Mark of the Beast, that is the most moronic thing I've ever heard. Well, oh, okay, I got you. I think I know what you're saying. Every time something new comes out, they call it the mark of the beast, and that's moronic to you. I understand. I know what you're saying. And to me, it just seems like they use that as like a tactic to get people not to invest. And, you know, I used to be really kind of into that type of deal. And I started to notice, I'm like, hey, exactly like you're saying, like, okay, every time it's something new, they try to say that it's this or they try to say that it's that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. No, it's not. It's not. I'm good. Hey, Boo, what's up, that one guy? What's up, Benjamin Awakened, patron in the house? What's up, Rue? One of the best future-proof techs that was made is a train. Be a choo-choo, my son. Aiello, have you had a chance to look into Vianti? If so, thoughts? I have not looked into Vianti, and we had that whole like thing where somebody was like, "Oh, he's in it," and I'm like, "No, bro, I haven't even looked into it yet." And I still haven't looked into it. So one of the things I did notice about Vianti was, though, that Swift blockchain follows them, right? So I don't know if that means anything or not. One of the things I do kind of see also is that they don't have a gold check mark. So I don't know if that's a thing that you want to use to say is against them or not, that they're not paying ransom to Twitter or not, but you know what I mean. Like, usually a lot of the big companies that you want to follow have the gold check mark. They don't. You know, you never know. You never know, right? But only precursory type of thing I did was look and see who follows them. And I did see that, Swift blockchain does follow them. So they did enough to get on Swift blockchain's radar, right? So that's something. This Swift list them. I don't know, but they did enough for Swift to follow them. So that's something. But I would like to see like a gold check mark. I would like to see more people following them. I like to see, I like to see a little bit more. I'm starting to get really, really choosy in what I invest in, but other than beyond looking to see who follows them and anything like that, I haven't done too much research into Vianti. But I wish everybody well that's in it though. Let's see here. What's up, Marcus Garvey? 34 with the oh my god, I'm gonna forget the name of this character. But shout out another patron in the house, Rue Dropper Knowledge. For all of us, thank you. What's your take on Plume price action? I like Plume a lot. I got a little bit of Plume. It's just hard to get every project, bro. You know what I'm saying? Our brother Underdog Research Channel has been doing mad research on Plume, and he made me a believer. I'm definitely going to start putting some more money over towards it. And if you guys look, it's in Securitize's ecosystem. Shout out to the patrons. I told you a way that you can invest in Securitize. So you guys have that. But you can see here, they're a part of what Plume is a part of what Securitize is doing. All right. And shout out some other big news that just happened. This reminds me of it. There's legal clarity for Ondo too. Ondo got their whole stuff dropped from the SEC. So Ondo got I wonder if they list it on their site. They should. So here it is. So thank you. That reminded me so much of this, which I wanted to hit you guys with tonight. The SEC has formally closed a confidential Biden-era investigation onto Ondo without any charges. This inquiry began in 2024, focused on whether Ondo's tokenization of certain real-world assets complied with federal securities laws, as well as whether Ondo token was a security. So they go all the way through this, but bottom line, it was dropped, and so they say, so what's next? On February 3rd, 2026, in New York, we'll share next phase of our world map at Ondo Summit. Remember, ZEBEC said they're going to do more stuff with Ondo. So this also has ZEBEC implications, where we are bringing together leading regulators, policymakers, and executives across traditional finance to lay out our vision for the new era of on-chain finance. Okay, and then you can read into that date, right? 2-3. 2-3 is 6. 6 is how many players have been 2-3, right? LeBron, Jordan. Who else wore different players award 32, different players award 23, different players award 6. I think Kobe wore 6. I think he did. I think also Magic Johnson was 32. Shaq was 32. So that 2-3, you know what I mean? But anyways, for people who love numbers. Hey, happy so Lex. Hey, Rue, I got to catch up. Good buddy, I'm sorry I'm late. Hope you had a good show. No, appreciate you coming through. With all the rituals going on, is that why the ritual and why it does rhyme so much? Yeah, a lot of different type of rituals, but that's also another show, right? There's so many type of rituals, if you will. Shout out to you, Pharmacopoeia. What's up, Dreamer? Another patron in the house. I could do with all the help I get. Plant that chip, Elon. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Neuralink could work for some people. Like, I think about the whole thing about someone being paraplegic and, it helping them actually get signals down to their legs and they can walk again. I could see it being good in some aspect like that. But, unless, and God forbid that I ever be paraplegic or I ever become paraplegic or anything like that. But able-bodied me right now, nah, it's a hard pass for me, dog. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good right now. No thanks. I don't need a Neuralink. Um, but if knock on wood, nothing ever happens like a paraplegic type of thing. But if that happened, then maybe. I got all my CDs from the '90s. I'm positioning myself for that digital museum 100%. Is ZBCN or is XCN a dead project? I would say no. It's not a dead project at all. They have ISO. They have ISO compliance. Shout out to Shook Focus Digital. If you want to know some XCN information, Shook really covers it more often than I do. Definitely check out his channel. There are some projects that kind of look dead. We could talk about dead projects if we want to. I could tell you a couple that are dead now. Benjamin Awakened. Hey Rue, I wanted to pick your brain about Wyoming LLC and wrapping it in a trust. I'll catch you on a Friday Zoom if you're curious. If you've done and maybe point in a direction. I have an LLC, but I didn't file it in a certain place. I just got one. But I'll give you as much information as I have on that stuff. But yeah, man, catch you in the Friday Zoom. We have our open mic nights, 6 o'clock Arizona time. And like I said, guys, as running in the little chat down there in the little ticker, 45% off the first month of the Patreon, running a holiday special, which will end in December. So shout out to you guys. So that's for 45% off for any one of the tiers for this month only. For the first month. Any new VeChain news? That was my first crypto purchase when it started. VeChain is one that's I think really good. They're in all the big blockchain consortiums. You'll see like VeChain in it and that they're a part of it. So I think VeChain will have a good future for sure. Plume is getting listed on Coinbase within the first 1 to 6 weeks via Underdog Research Channel. And shout out to our brother Underdog Research Channel. Brother does good research. I'm so blessed in crypto to be friends with some of these really good researchers. And I pat myself on the back. I think I do good research as well. But really, really cool to be friends with Maximus. Underdog Research Channel, Shook Focus Digital, Crypto Future, all these good researchers, Jesse, Apex Crypto Consult Insights. Man, such a wonderful life to be friends with these guys. Stephanie Crypto, good evening all. Shout out to you. What's up, Stephanie Crypto? Dr. J War 62. Yep, see, there we go. Dr. J War 6. Hit her all day. Sydney Ashford, it's almost like it's marking them. You know what I mean? Like these are the guys. Because Mahomes wears 15, which is 6. Jokic wears 15, which is 6. Like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy when you really get down into all of it. Elon gonna set you up with those chips. You're gonna be hearing electricide in your head all night, right? right? Or they activate me as a asset, and they're like, oh, this guy did something crazy. I'm like, I don't even remember that. Well, you did it. Oh, Neuralink. Damn. To use the whole Florida Evans line. Share it to us, Rue. What are the dead projects? We think White Rock Finance is dead. Well, allegedly. Everything I say is alleged. Well, we know that Kadena came out and they gave us an announcement like, "Hey, we're dead. we're dead." Like, okay, the you can still mine us and the technology still exists, but we're done. A coin I used to cover, Veracity, they came out with something like, well, we don't have any announcements, but the price really dropped, and allegedly. So I don't know. Could Veracity be gone? I'll just show you the facts, right? I'll show you the facts. Where I'm not saying that it is, but I'll show you the facts. So they came out with this announcement. A general update just in case you guys are invested in Veracity. And he asked me to spill the beans, so I spilled a couple. I'm spilling a couple. So we know Cadenas, what they said, and then we know Veracity said this. A general update is being prepared by Veracity's senior team. Marketing, social media contributors, and community moderators cannot issue updates without accurate information and explicit authorization from Veracity. While the community frustration is recognized, threats and accusations and slander are unacceptable and place unnecessary pressure on the team members who manage official channels but have no decision-making authority over company operations. Veracity is also escalating serious cases by reporting accounts and defamatory accusations against team members to local law enforcement and legal authorities. So I'm not accusing them of anything, just so we're clear. But they did issue this, and their price is very low right now. Kinda, So that's where they're at. Sony selling stablecoin soon is just wild. Come a long way from Tekken and Resident Evil, yes indeed. And Sony is part of Base, right? They're part of that whole super chain. So Sony is heavy in here, right? So when you look at the super chains on Optimism that could connect to Base, we got World Chain, of course. We talked about that when we went over UBI, right? Of course, we have Base, we have Metallicus, but we have Sonium, which is Sony's layer 2. Sonium is a layer 2 blockchain developed by Sony Block Solution Labs, a joint venture between Sony Group and Startail, designed to bridge Web 2 and Web 3. Sonium aims to create versatile, developer-friendly ecosystem that empowers creativity and innovation. So, they could directly kind of connect gaming up to Base. It provides a scalable, accessible platform for developers, creators, and communities, enable them to build and deploy applications that blend entertainment, gaming, finance, and more. So they're trying to get really in, right? So that's why Metaverse is going to happen at some point in time. It's going to happen, right? What's up, Blackout? Can you touch on Stellar XLM? I think it is the black horse of the global finance system for crypto. So everything that connects into Ripple connects into Stellar. They never talk about Stellar, but Stellar had been working with the CFTC for a long time. Even when that whole Ripple case was going on, Stellar was working with the CFTC. We know that Stronghold connects to Stellar. They're built on Stellar, right? So yeah, I'm very high on Stellar. I got way more XRP than I have Stellar, but I am also high on Stellar and I do things. You can do things with your Coinbase card that'll give you some Stellar back. So, yeah, I'm high on Stellar. Very high on Stellar. So we made it through all of our comments here. I think this is so big for the market, guys, and I didn't hear enough people really talking about it, and I just wanted to give that to you today. So if you made it to the end, put Caroline in the chat, Caroline fam, and I'll know you made it to the end because we don't want to confuse it with Sam Bankman-Fried's Caroline. So we're gonna say Caroline fam. Put that in the description, in the comments of the recording, so that way I know you made it to the end, and it will help spread the show around. Definitely spread us around to your friends and family. We're trying to make the push to 9K subscribers. Thank you guys so much for coming through, and I'm out. Peace.